Colombia and the United States are teaming up to fight the Zika virus as part of a new level of coordination. And the White House is proposing nearly $500 million to help rebuild Colombia after more than 50 years of conflict. CCTV's Jessica Stone is at the White House. Jessica, important talks today.
Very important, and they seem to have resulted in a really historic amount of proposed money by the U.S. government to Colombia to help it rebuild. We're talking about $450 million annually, and that would be well over the $300 million that Brazil received from the United States last year. It also comes along with a promise by the U.S. government to help Colombia demine over the next 5 years.
Negotiators in Havana are speeding up talks to reach a peace deal between the Colombian government and the FARC guerrillas by a new deadline of March 23rd. Now, Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos is putting the pressure on the White House to increase aid to his country. U.S. officials have signaled a willingness to try.
I'm proposing that more than $450 million be devoted to helping to reinforce security gains, reintegrate former combatants into society,
in the names of those children who can see a better future now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bogota has spent most of its $10 billion in American aid on military hardware to push back the FARC. But 50 years of war have left areas dominated by the rebels in need of new roads, schools, and healthcare facilities. Last year, the European Union committed more than $12 million in humanitarian aid, and Colombia signed 12 agreements with China to build infrastructure and production capacity. FARC rebels suggest the U.S. has a special duty to help rebuild Colombia because it financed a long, destructive fight.
A country that was engaged in the conflict in Colombia should also be engaged in building a new era with resources for peace.
Despite the progress towards peace, a majority of Colombians still don't support the process.
Most of Colombians have never seen one single day of peace. And they're afraid of change. They think the peace might be wrong, might be bad.
In an interview with CCTV's Elaine Reyes, former Colombian President Andrés Pastrana suggested the talks don't go far enough to stop the FARC's cocaine production.
You could achieve the peace process, but if they don't tell us Colombians the truth, it's going to be very difficult to end the narco trafficking in our country.
And yet, Asier, the FARC has committed to break all of its links with the drug trade. But keep in mind, Colombia is still the world's largest producer of cocaine.
And Jessica, you answered some of this already, but how will this U.S. aid be distributed? What will be the focus?
Really securing the gains that have already occurred by the Colombian government and working on this reintegration process. I mean, President Santos talked a lot today about the need to move from an economy based on drug trafficking to one on different kinds of agriculture that could not only help the FARC reinvent itself and its people, but also just help the economy in general.
CCTV's Jessica Stone, thank you so much.